Hello, 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 all of you beautiful nerds from around the world. What is up, everybody? My name is Josh. Of course, this is the Den of Nerds. Happy Star Wars Sunday to all of you Star Wars fans out there. How you guys doing today? Man, oh, the music was down. Oh, man. Oh, I screwed up that intro. The cool music wasn't in there. Ah, bummer. That's all right. We'll nail it down next time. How's everybody doing? I'm seeing people come on into the chat. How are you? We've got some cool stuff to talk about. It's been actually a really crazy week for Star Wars news. The week, at least the week for me, was dominated by Avengers. A lot of Avengers stuff going on. The hype is real when it comes to the Avengers. And so I thought, how fitting would it be to talk about these Avengers 4 directors and their visit to the Mandalorian, what that might mean for the future of Star Wars. We'll get into a little bit of rumor mill stuff. Do we think that maybe the Russo Brothers will eventually direct some Star Wars stuff? That would be pretty cool. We're going to get into all of that, okay? So, pardon me, I need a little bit of... Did I get a haircut? I don't know if I did, actually. Thank you, Girls with Sabers. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Avengers videos are killing it right now. Yep, a lot of cool... Oh, thank you. Thank you for liking the new glasses. Yep. These are actually old glasses. Mad old. I don't know where my square frames are right now, actually. So, guys... We have some really exciting stuff to talk about. Did you see, you probably saw on the thumbnail, obviously, the Russo brothers visited the set of The Mandalorian. You're probably aware of that. But did you know what they said about The Mandalorian? Did you know that? Hello, everybody. You guys are so sweet. We're going to get into this. This is some pretty cool stuff. Let me turn that music back down. And then we'll get into all of this. So, the Russo brothers, they obviously had that Q&A with Frosty over at Collider. Wednesday night at the ArcLight Theater in Hollywood. It was a big hype thing for Avengers. There was a lot of cool Avengers stuff that they talked about, but they were asked about their visit and the photograph that came out of their visit to the set of The Mandalorian, okay? And a lot of cool stuff that they said about this Mandalorian show, some of which... made some waves. Let's see here. Let's do this one right here. So this is a pretty cool one. We'll get into this. Check out what they said here. And I've got it pulled up for you guys, but I don't have it pulled up for me, actually. So give me 1 second here. Oh, so ill prepared today, guys. There were so many little things that went wrong on the way to this stream. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. How do I not have this up for me to read? Oh my goodness. Worst live stream in the history of live streams. Okay, so check this out. They said basically, and you've probably read it by now, but I'm just getting to it. It's amazing. We went down there to say hi to John. Taika was directing an episode, so we went to hang out with him. John is always at the forefront of cutting edge tech, and he is shooting this in a way that no one has ever shot anything ever before. It's pretty astounding. So a lot of people, looked into that. They were like, well, what does he mean? They're shooting things in a way that's never been shot before. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I haven't been able to find anything that points to a direct answer. But we do know that obviously Jon Favreau, Disney royalty, he's been working on The Lion King, you know what I mean? He did The Jungle Book, the 2 live action things. So I believe that there might be something like that going on, that we're going to get a little bit of that tech, perhaps even brought up a notch, which would be very, very cool. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Girls with Sabers. And yes, everybody, if you could like the stream, it helps us out. It helps us out. It helps get this stream out to more people. Do you know what I mean? Yes, it certainly helps us out. So it's so cool. Okay, so the Russo brothers hyping up The Mandalorian. Now, you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, I've been incredibly hyped on The Mandalorian. I'm so hype on this show. I actually think it's going to be something that's sort of unanimously really liked by Star Wars fans, which will be really nice. And it's just going to be really, really good for the brand and for everything like that. And for the Russo brothers to go over there, that's no mistake, right? They did this on purpose, completely on purpose. This is to hype up The Mandalorian. Give me 1 second here. Sorry, that light was bothering me. But yeah, did you guys see this? Did you see the photograph that came out with the Russo brothers and Taika and everything like that? Taika's doing. I heard a rumor that Taika's actually doing the season finale, which would be really cool. I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, so people are saying that he's directing this in a way that has never been directed before. I don't know. I tend to believe that's probably just a little bit of hyperbole. And in general, they're just speaking in terms of like from a television perspective, because the big difference here with these streaming shows, especially The Mandalorian, and I believe this will follow true for the MCU shows and for the what's the other Star Wars show? The Cassian Andor show. They're spending buku bucks on these things. These things have the production of major Hollywood productions. They're talking hundreds of millions of dollars, which of course this all kind of groundwork was laid by Game of Thrones and different shows like that. But man, they are backing up the money truck on this show. Now, one of the things we've talked about here on the channel too is like, man, there's not a lot of hype for this Mandalorian show, maybe among some hardcore fans. But as far as the general audience is concerned, people are not very hyped on the Mandalorian. And so I think taking what's happening with the Avengers, which is really crazy. I mean, the hype right now on the Avengers is out of control. And taking that hype and bringing it over to Star Wars and having that photograph, very good idea. You know what I mean? Very good to get people thinking about. So hopefully this helps a little bit, get people excited about it. And you know what would help even more though is if the Russo brothers directed an episode. That would be pretty hype. So we're gonna get into that in just a second here. But I wanted to know, guys, and answer this in the chat if you would be so kind. What kind of a project would you want the Russo brothers to do when it came to Star Wars? You know what I mean? Like I thought a lot about this. I was like, oh, what kind of a movie would I want them to do, or would I want them to do an episode of the show, and what would that look like? You know what I mean? So let me know in the chat. Do you have any ideas for what you would like of the Russo brothers in Star Wars? I think that would be very cool. I actually think them doing an episode would be the best. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, the thoughts on the new mini Disney anime shorts from the saga. It's interesting that you would say that, David Albee. That is our next topic. That's what we're going to talk about next. Because I've watched a few of them. I think they're pretty cool. I know. The wait for episode 9 is going to be crazy. I do agree. It's going to be pretty crazy. And of course, yes, Raylo forever. What's up, subscriber from India? Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. I think them doing an episode would be amazing. My one thing is this. I feel like they're just so like right now they're sort of being branded as being really great at these big ensemble movies. I think when Avengers 4 finishes, you'll probably look back and say, "Wow, the Russo brothers were the guys that sort of handled one of the biggest mashup things in the history of cinema." This just so many storylines and the way they vignetted Infinity War and lead into Avengers 4, which I think will be more of an intimate movie for the main cast Avengers. They're going to sort of be labeled as that. But then when I think about some of the other stuff that they have done, I think about just their way to tackle character. And so I would almost prefer if they took like maybe a new character, some kind of new Jedi, you know what I mean, moving forward, or some kind of new cool bounty hunter. You know, what Filoni was able to do with Rebels and have this sort of new crew, almost, I mean, it's very almost tropey when you really think about it. It's the Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Leia, Chewbacca crew of the Falcon filled out with different characters with a different, um, different set of characters and a different set of stories, but it's essentially the same kind of archetypes. And so, perhaps they could do something similar to that. I think there'd be a lot of room for that. I'm really craving I'm really craving new stuff in Star Wars, which I don't know how I exactly got to this point, but I'm really craving new stuff. What I mean is not like even the Mandalorian, which I'm incredibly hyped for. It takes place in a time frame which we're pretty familiar with. A lot of content has come out in that time frame. I'm looking forward to like what's next. You know what I mean? Building and setting up for the future. So that's where I'm at with all of that. But what do you guys think? I'm seeing some cool ideas here. Russo brothers working on a Mandalorian, developed the new storylines too. Yeah, I agree with that, Yova. Nina asks, Josh, out of all of your nerdy loves, which is your biggest love? Star Wars? Yes, Star Wars is my biggest nerdy love. And that's why I love me some Star Wars Sundays. Might be more hype if there wasn't so much divide with Star Wars. Get it more right and bring unity to the fan base, and the hype will take off, in my opinion. Steve, that is, of course, the tricky issue of the day. The tricky issue of the day. I don't know exactly whose fault it was. I don't want to necessarily blame anyone. But yeah, if we could get everyone on the same page a little bit more. Like I said, guys, this week was all Avengers, and the thing is, doing Avengers content is just it's kind of more fun at this point because everybody just gets hype about stuff. Where as opposed to what's happening with Star Wars, which again, maybe nobody's fault, but it's a divided fan base. It's a crazy time right now. So that's how I'd answer that question. Ooh, a Sith series, Nathan Adams says. I totally dig that. Just in general, I really am craving for some kind of story from the Sith perspective. Do you know what I mean? Definitely want to see something from a Sith perspective. I'm really excited that maybe Dan and Dave's series of films could deal with the Old Republic. We've talked about that a lot on the channel. It would be really cool if we got from the dark side perspective, some kind of big new iconic character. That would be really cool. Flick Talk says, people say the speculation of Star Wars was killed after The Last Jedi. What speculation was there to be had during the prequels? It's kind of hard to say. I mean, the thing is, during the prequels, the internet, at least in its current capacity, wasn't as big. However, I've been sort of corrected on this point by older fans online who were in message boards and stuff at the time of the prequels, and there was a lot actually going on, a lot in those fan communities, different theories about different things after the Phantom Menace. But the truth is, I mean, I think Star Wars speculation can definitely get back to where it was. I think things are actually better than maybe think people are thinking online, and I think we'll turn it around in this coming year. Ooh, Jesus Bez. The Russos should do the Bloodline series based on the Star Wars novels, Josh. By the way, I love your content, dude. Thank you so much, man. I totally agree with that. If they did an adaptation of Lost Stars, that would be incredible. I wish I had it on me. I've got a manga, actually. I probably showed you guys this before, most of you. But The Lost Stars is one of my favorite Star Wars books. They did an adaptation of it that was a novel. It's absolutely incredible, and so that's a really great story. It would be cool to see them coming in. Knights of the Old Republic, maybe. I think they could definitely do that. You know, it's funny because let's say with the Dan and Dave, they may not be actually directing any of these series of films, right? And so, what if it's a thing where the Dan and Dave are producing the new series of films, and the Russo brothers are the directors for one of those movies in the series of films? Now, we should get into this in just a second too, because they were directly asked about this, and here is what they had to say. Check this out right here. And hopefully I can get to this a little easier than I did the last one. We grew up on Star Wars like everybody else did, the Russo brothers say. I went to the theater when I was 11 years old to see Empire Strikes Back and sat in the theater from 11:30 in the morning until 10 at night and watched it back to back to back. Man, that sounds fun. So it was a huge influence on us growing up. Of course, we'd love to work at some point in the Star Wars universe, but right now our heads are in the middle of another movie. That would be, of course, Avengers 4. So that's kind of what they had to say about it. This is definitely a prepared answer. This is something that as soon as they took that photograph with Taika and Jon Favreau on the set of The Mandalorian, they probably all were like, yeah, so we're going to get a bunch of questions now about whether or not we're going to be directing Star Wars. How do we want to handle this? So this is a prepared statement almost. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, of course, we love Star Wars. Right now we're focused on Avengers 4, which is probably true. But it kind of also hints that they would love to be doing some Star Wars. Yo, see ya, David Albee. Happy Star Wars Sunday, man. So they are interested. They aren't leaving any hints. You know, I tend to get this feeling. Let me know if you guys agree or not. That a lot of people that are in the business, especially like people like the Russo brothers, they are probably in these kind of conversations all the time. Their agents or whoever represents them or whatever, they've probably talked to Disney, being really tight with everybody at Disney at this point. They've probably talked to them and talked to them directly about doing some Star Wars stuff. Um, but obviously, there's just way too much for them to even dedicate a real developmental conversation to that idea. So this might be something that we see down the line. In general, I just wanted to talk to you guys about it because I thought it was really cool, man. Going over there and hyping this thing up. And again, not to sound like a broken record, but the Mandalorian is going to be very hyped. They're spending so much money on it. The talent they are bringing into this thing, crazy. I think it's the thing to get excited about if you're a Star Wars fan. If you're not excited about Episode 9, which I'm personally very excited about Episode 9, but there's a group of people out there that are not excited about it, and that's totally fine. The Mandalorian should be something that you should be excited about. The Mandalorian seems dope. So now let's talk about one more thing before we get into Q&A, guys. I want to just go over these animated Star Wars shorts. Have you seen these things, guys? They're pretty cool. What they are referred to is the Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures. Okay, now it's unfortunate that David had to go because this is something I think he was just talking about in the live stream. But these things are basically animations of classic iconic moments within the Star Wars saga, and they use the original audio from the films. Okay, and they're on Disney Kids, I believe, now just started a YouTube channel. And okay, so when I first saw this pop up, I actually thought it was something different. I thought they were going to like do animated versions of the new movies and everything. Like basically redo sort of the original trilogy and the prequels and everything in this animation style. And I was like, I didn't know how I felt about it. I was like, whoa, not really into that. Want them to stay the way that they are. But when I sat down and watched them, they are actually really freaking cool, guys. First of all, I'm a big fan of animation. I like really anime style animation, slick animation. I'm just a fan of the art. I went to art school, took animation classes. I'm terrible, but I have an appreciation for it. And I watched a few of these. Actually, I watched like 5 or 6 this morning when I was doing research for the show. Guys, they are really freaking cool, and I think they're a great way if you have young people sort of in your life that are you want to sort of introduce the Star Wars universe to. These are very, very cool little things to show to them. Some of them are a bit longer. Most of them are very short, though, very short, like a minute long. And if you've got a couple minutes to kill and you want to just go on a nostalgia ride and just remember all these really good moments from the Star Wars saga and your experience with Star Wars, highly recommend checking out these shorts. I thought they were really, really cool. And what's interesting is, pardon me as I get a little water. What's interesting is the shorts. Ah, man, now I lost my train of thought. I just really like. I really like the shorts. Oh, here's what I was gonna say. Resistance. Star Wars Resistance has really not grabbed me at all, and it's like really kind of kiddie. And I'm trying to get into it. I'm gonna give it another shot, but it's just not something I'm super into. But yeah, they are live now. Yeah, Meat Grinder Mike. They only did a short batch. A small batch just came out. Another batch is going to be coming out. But there's going to be like more like little short form content like this coming out, I feel like, on YouTube for Star Wars. But yeah, definitely. These to me grip me way more than something like Resistance because they just like they grab me, they give me the feels, they give me the nostalgic member berries, and then sort of like from there, I just get to kind of like leave. Like I'm not like super invested in them. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different. So highly recommend the Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures. They're very cool. I see a lot of people talking about them. Yep, talking about them in the chat. And yes, of course. And what's really cool is actually some of them that I looked at, they don't spoil everything. Like there was this one explaining Luke Skywalker, and it went through his arc, but it didn't explain that Vader was his father. So you could still get that crazy reveal for young people. You know what I mean? Like someday, if I ever have a child, like trying to catch them before they know that about Vader, and having them sit down and watch it. I really think that'll be a cool moment. That's something that I want to eventually have with my kids. I think that would be a cool thing for people to have in general with their kids. That's cool. Your daughter was Darth Vader for Halloween. That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. So, guys, let's get into some Q&A. So start getting your questions ready. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be kind of a shorter stream. I'm only going to go probably for like 20, 25 minutes, just answering some Q&A. I'm sorry, I'm just very busy this weekend. But there's a lot of cool stuff coming to the channel this week, which I will be dropping on our community tab and social media. So make sure you look out for that. But feel free to drop me some questions. We can obviously talk Star Wars. It's Star Wars Sunday. But if you have questions about other things, don't feel bad about it. Just drop your questions in, and we'll talk about it. Wayne White, what's up, my friend? At work, but showing some love. Watch later on the replay. May the force be with you all. Thank you so much, man. The leaked still of the Avengers 4 trailer. Trev, I have not. I can look it up right now. There was a lot of stuff that I watched all week with Avengers 4 trailer, and a lot of it was fake. So could be could end up being a thing, you know. It could end up being real. What does it look like, man? Drop that in the comments. Mike Meat Grinder Mike asks, who's your favorite villain in all of Star Wars? Maybe top 3. I like Grand Admiral Thrawn a freaking lot, like a lot. I also like Count Dooku quite a bit. And even though Count Dooku gets kind of, pooped on by Palpatine towards the end of the original series, I like the lore with him quite a bit. There's a scene in the Tarkin novel where he meets a young Palpatine. I think it's the Tarkin novel actually, where he meets a young Dooku, and it's Tarkin and young Dooku talking. So cool. So cool. Yeah, I like me some Thrawn. So those are just 2 right there. Nina Lovelace asks a very interesting question. Josh, why do you reckon more people are liking Solo now? Seen a few people saying it's cool on Twitter, watching it late. I don't know what is going on with Solo, but like just a little inside baseball here. When I went on Google Trends to look at like the trending searches on YouTube and stuff, when it comes to Star Wars, Solo's trending quite a bit with regards to Solo. And honestly, and this kind of sucks to say because it's like, yo, Bob Iger, the hell, bro. But I think that like setting into this kind of time period where you start to think about family and it's just the winter time, they're starting to get that Star Wars feeling again. And a lot of people that like going to see Star Wars movies at this time of the year, or that like sharing these kind of things with people at this time of the year, they might be thinking about it and they're watching Solo. Solo might be getting a bump now because this is the proper time when it should have come out. Plus, they could have tightened the movie up a bit more. So, like in my head, I like to believe, which because I did not like Solo, but I believe that if they would have had more time, they could have tightened it up a bit, made it a bit better, and a lot more people would have saw it. So maybe that's what's going on. Yeah, that's true. Like some of the late goers, some of the old boycotters and things are checking it out. Why do I think they canceled Star Wars? Girls with Saber, very interesting question. Christina, thank you so much for the super chat. Very sweet. I love your videos and how you're not bashing Star Wars like many other channels. No, I definitely am not bashing Star Wars. I love me some Star Wars. I do wish the fan base was in a better place. I do wish certain things would be changed and that Disney would appease fans a little bit more. There's no problem with building hype. Just give people what they want. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? So I wish that some of that stuff, but yes. Now, when it comes to the Daredevil thing, Girls with Sabers, it's very interesting. I want to do more research on it. I've been hearing a lot of weird things. So right now, what a lot of people are running with is the idea that these characters will be rebooted into the MCU. That essentially, they had their run on Netflix, and that Marvel wants to do their own thing. very strangely, this all has to do with the streaming service. So there was this story, and you've been following the channel. I've talked about this before. There was a story about how Marvel Television and Marvel were going to bridge their gap and be more involved with each other. That was a thing. And a lot of people were like, oh, dope. That means the Netflix characters are coming to the MCU. And it feels like that's not what they were talking about. Instead, what they were talking about is sort of distancing themselves from those shows and everything that's not directly under Marvel Studios, that is. And then sort of with these new streaming shows, having a better place to play with these characters and more connective tissue. So my best theory right now, and it kind of sucks because I love the Charlie Cox Daredevil, is that Marvel will reboot Daredevil into the MCU at some point. Now, my dream, my hope and my dream is that Charlie Cox and all of the people from Netflix shows just come over and do shows on the streaming service, okay? If they come over and do shows on the streaming service and it's more produced, you know what I mean, higher budget, blah, 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 it would be so much cooler, and I love those characters. I do have an attachment to them. So I would like it more if they came in their current iteration to the MCU. Anthony, do I believe we are getting the Avengers 4 trailer tomorrow? There's two ways that they're going to do it. I actually am leaning not on tomorrow. I think Tuesday is going to be a good day, or Thursday. I think Tuesday or Thursday are actually really good days to watch out for. And I know that I'm been speaking about the Prelude comics. There's a Prelude comic that comes out for Avengers 4 on Wednesday, which I'm definitely getting ASAP. As soon as I can in the morning, Comixology, boom, I'm buying that comic. I'm going to read it. I'm going to write some cool stuff up. That is likely to be what we will talk about on the Nerdy News Rundown on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we're going to talk about the Avengers 4 comic book. They will either drop the trailer Tuesday before that. They could potentially drop it Monday Night Football, or they will drop it on Thursday. I just have this sneaking suspicion for no real reason that they will drop it on Thursday. And I'll tell you this, guys, too, to just be completely honest with you. So Wednesday is my birthday, okay? And I've got a lot of plans. I'm going to have I've been working kind of hard, and it's been kind of a crazy year. So I'm going to have a good birthday. I'm going to have a good old-fashioned party and get into some mischief. Now, here's the thing. If they drop the trailer on my birthday, I'm going to be kind of salty because I'm going to have to work. Like, I'm going to have to turn these here cameras on and these here lights on, and we're going to have to talk about the Avengers 4 trailer because I have to talk to you guys about it if it were to happen. And I'm sort of saying that a little bit facetiously. Like, I'm not going to be super upset about it, but I will be a little bit salty if the trailer drops on my birthday and we have to talk about it. So it'll be bittersweet. And so I kind of think, like, just push it to Thursday, Marvel. You know what I mean? Just give me a day, please. Yeah, well, look, I'll tell you what, Meat Grinder Mike, there's going to be a lot more streaming in general coming to the channel. And check it out. Check this out. Oh, that's actually a good point, Trev. I didn't think about that. Hungover Josh might have a harder time. You're right. We'll see what happens. But in general, guys, we're going to be doing a lot more streams. Thursday night at midnight is when Super Smash Bros., the new Super Smash, comes out. I am starting the Twitch, the Den of Nerds Twitch, and my roommate and I are going to Twitch stream some Smash Bros. Thursday night. And so I got like a lot of things kind of in the work this week, and so there'll be some drunk streaming in our future. In our future. I'm sorry, John. Yo, look, just drop the question in again, man. I'm sorry. Sometimes when I don't just like when I'm ranting, I don't just, you know what I mean, look at all that. Yo, Ben, you're trolling, bro. There's no way the trailer just dropped. If it does drop, though, I mean, hey, did it drop? Someone let me know. Someone fact check Ben, please, in the comment section. Can we get a mod to fact check Mr. Ben? Yeah, look, sometimes I rant. I look here, I look at the question, and then I look away, and then I rant. And then the other questions are coming in, and I don't see them because I'm looking over in my rant corner. and then I look back. I'm not sure where Al is at actually. Al has been we've been having some fun just watching all this Avengers stuff go down. So Al and I have been working a lot on our theory and our series of videos, and we just geek out about Avengers. We're just so pumped about it. And so seeing all of the type that we've got going on, or the hype that the channel's been building for Avengers, is really cool. Yo, Ben, I am so hype for Smash. Thank you, Girls with Sabers. Guys, Girls with Sabers, just fact check Ben. You know what I mean? But yes, Ben, I am definitely hyped for Smash. Do I play Marvel Contest of Champions at all? I do not. It would be cool to play it. The only mobile game that I play right now is Dragon Ball Legends. Dragon Ball Legends is dope, but to be honest with you, I just got my Nintendo Switch, and so I haven't been playing as much Legends. I have not been playing as much Legends. I've been playing Fighters, Dragon Ball Fighters, on my Switch, and I've been playing Mario Kart. And I'll be streaming some Mario Kart too. If you guys got a Switch and you think you got some chops, come race me in some Mario Kart in the coming weeks. Meat Grinder Mike, I do not do it on Skype. I would totally consider that. There's some friends in my hometown, not in Philadelphia, that I would definitely want to D&D with on Skype, which could be a thing. But no, I D&D every Wednesday in person with paper. Oh man, Girls with Sabers, good job modding. I see what you're doing. Yova too. You guys are awesome. John, you're from Philly, huh? I'm over in Manayunk Roxborough area right now. Oh snap! Christina Paul says she'd smoke me in some Mario Kart. Well, we might have to put that to the test. What is my favorite lightsaber from the movies? Hmm. I mean, you know, Darth Maul's is obviously awesome. Um, that is a pretty cool lightsaber. Um, from the movies. I mean, I guess Kylo's saber. I sound like a total fanboy. I'm a Kylo Ren fanboy, so I like the crossguard a lot. So Meat Grinder Mike, I think we do have a Twitch, but I don't think there's any content on it. So like Monday and Tuesday for me are like setting up the Twitch. I have to finish the podcast studio. Nerdvana, the official Den of Nerds podcast, is going to be happening. Kate is in the building, everybody. Give it up for Kate, the unfunny. You got to give it up for the Patrons, which of course Girls with Saber is a Patreon as well. No! T-Series past Pewds. I don't believe it. Jay Reed, how crazy would it be if the Avengers 4 trailer was filmed from the point of view of the heroes that were dusted and shows them inside the soul world? That'd be really cool, actually. That would be quite cool. That'd be rare. XR Coon is cool. Hey, man, look, people can't afford Patreon. It's all good, man. If you got a little loot and want to get some extra content and help out, that would be awesome. If you can't, no worries. All you got to do, like them videos, watch them videos. Tell me what I could do better. That's all. It's one of the really cool things about YouTube is like, I've been on this kind of process for a while, and you get I get feedback from people, and some of it's like not nice, you know what I mean? A lot of it's like kind of mean. But at the end of the day, um a lot of it's constructive, and I've gotten better because of this experiment. Like because of talking with you guys and people pointing different things out. I've adjusted things. It's really cool. Hi Josh from Steve in Essex, England. How you doing, man? How you doing, Steve? I hope you're having a good Star Wars Sunday, man. It's Sunday over there, right? I'm not crazy, am I? Cake Jacks, you might be right. What if the Avengers 4 trailer has no new footage? We talked about that on the show. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. F them. I'm a hottie. I don't know what you're referring to, but thank you. You're sweet. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it, man. I'm trying to get better every day. Trying to get better every day. We got a lot of cool content and cool stuff to be coming out next year. Yeah, thanks, Trev. You know, I just think it's like kind of an interesting thing. I don't leave them all in there because trust me, there's a lot of them. But occasionally, like I just think they're funny. Like the Doctor Thanos one the other day was really funny, and I tell you, it's gonna get to the point where I get memed. You know what I mean? Like some of those slip ups and some of the things that I do will get memed, and that's totally fine. I'm totally self aware, and I just think it's all in fun. You know what I mean? And let me know if you guys got any questions too. If I missed your question, just drop it in again. I'll do my best to get to as many questions as I can, and then we will go from there. Obviously, if you want to do a super chat, they're much appreciated. They help the channel out. They help me out, and I will answer every single super chat that comes in, unless the question's like way too personal. You know what I mean? Like, I'll have to give you some bullcrap answer. Nothing makes you doubt yourself more than creating content. Yeah, the content creation game is so tough. And actually, I have a business vlog coming out for the patrons. It should be dropping tomorrow. I've been really like contemplating how to approach this subject because one of the things we do on Patreon is we talk about the business side of things, and lately business has been very good on the channel, and the Avengers 4 hype is crazy and stuff like that. So it's like interesting to talk about because the algorithm here is so rough, and at some point, like you just after railing against it for so long, I just decided like this week, like let's just do all Avengers videos pretty much, and they all did really really well. And we'll see how this stream does, and I'll never not do Star Wars Sunday, and it's not like I'm not going to do Star Wars content, but it was really interesting to just say, okay, well, this is what's hot, this is what the algorithm likes, let's just do this kind of a lot and see what happens. Ooh, yeah, that would be really cool. Yova, if they could do Yova asks if the Russo brothers could do the Unknown Regions and Ezra and Thrawn show together, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I'd be really cool. I'd be hype on that. I love both those characters a lot. Ezra is a great character. Thrawn is a great character, so that would be really cool. Am I getting tired of Avengers 4 talk yet? No, I'm definitely not. I mean, I tell you, it's an interesting thing. It's cool to kind of step back and talk some Star Wars, and I'm so excited for Smash Bros and stuff like that. At the end of the day, like what I'm trying to do here is enable myself and other people, like many other people eventually down the line, to be able to talk about the things they love and sort of just like live a life that's really like enjoyable and like monetize it and make some money off of it. Not necessarily even like get rich or whatever, but like make some money off of stuff that you like. And oh, that's like the worst question ever, Flick Talk. I will answer that question, but that is a rough question. And so part of that, guys, and yeah, that's actually a great idea. Everybody, you see Flick Talk's answer. He says, if you could only see Avengers 4 or Star Wars Episode 9, which do you pick? You guys let me know the question in the comment section. If you could only see one, what's it going to be? Drop it down there. I'm very interested. That is a rough question. But yeah, so basically in that sense, there's always going to be a side of it that's not necessarily what you want to do. So like if I do an Avengers video and it's like, I don't know if I'm feeling an Avengers video today. It's like, well, at the end of the day, take a step back and realize you can't be that mad. Which nerdy video do I do to YouTube? You know what I mean? Like it's a weird perspective. You should be happy either way to be able to do that. So I see a lot of splits, a lot of A4, a lot of F9, a lot of A4, a lot of F9. How dare you make me answer this question? How dare you? It has to be episode 9. It has to be episode 9. It's tough because obviously I love both of them, but I need to know how this ends, Skywalker Saga. Obviously I'm very interested in the Kylo and Rey and where that all goes. And so it would have to be episode 9 for me, but like that is the worst question ever, man. That is brutal. You want to talk about torturing a nerd. And now I'm probably going to have a nightmare about that scenario. What do I think about the rumors that the Avengers trailer will be dropped tomorrow on Monday Night Football? Javier Lopez. That would be freaking cool. That would be freaking cool. I'd be down. In fact, probably tomorrow morning, I'll probably have to look at all of the rumors and different things like that. Thank you, Crystal Saber. I'm gonna have to look at all the rumors because I have a tournament that I was thinking about going to, but yes, Nina. Unfortunately, you are correct there. So I had a tournament that I might go to tomorrow night, but if it is gonna drop on Monday Night Football, perhaps I will not go to that tournament, and I will be on standby. And if the trailer drops, we will stream it here. Did my stream freeze? Are you guys still there? Can you hear me? It's like frozen on mine. I'm hoping it's okay. Let me see here. Let me see if I can. What? Jacob, you're definitely not being ignored. Brother, I'm so sorry. Just drop your question in. Let me see if I can fix this video here. Deactivate it. And then reactivate it. Did that fix the camera? Oh no, darkness. Well, hopefully is it back? Okay, cool. Okay, no, it's not that you're definitely not that you're being ignored. It's just look, I build relationships with people that are in the streams a lot or the Patreons, which I do live streams with them, and I do a lot of conversing with them. So it's not that it's not that I'm ignoring people. It's just that I have sort of a relationship, and I know these faces, I know these avatars, I know these names. Do you know what I mean? I still can't see me on this camera here. Are we sure this is good? Okay. All right. If it's good, it's good. I can't see it at all. Okay. It's just weird. All I see is the loading screen and my face like stuck like that. So guys, I'll go 10 more minutes here, okay? 10 more minutes. Just please drop your questions in. We'll go over them. And then I unfortunately got to get on out of here. What if I just did that though, just to match up with what I see on my screen? I'm just like, Ricardo, thank you so much for the super chat, man. There's no question in there though. I appreciate the support. I'll try to see if you drop a question in the chat right now. Jonko, I saw your question, man. What's my theory on him being done, not dead? I like we went over this, I believe, on Friday. I believe that what they mean is that Cap is not done, even though Steve is done as Cap. Thank you, Ricardo. I appreciate that, man. Just so I think that's kind of what they're saying. So, but there are a number of different ways that this could manifest itself, which we did again. We went over on Friday. You could check that video out. I think it's got the thing on. He's not done yet on the thumbnail. But I believe that's what will happen. Also, by the way, guys, I think one of the coolest things that will happen in the MCU And I truly believe that we're getting Secret Wars. A lot of people got on my case about that Secret Wars video. But I'm telling you, I really do believe that Secret Wars is the way. It is the way. And that's what's going to be coming next. And so, in that context, I believe all the old characters will come back. Like, we haven't seen the last of Chris Evans as Cap, but it will be a long time. He will not be a part of the MCU anymore. He'll come back into the MCU for a big Secret Wars type of thing. So, that's what I think is going on with Cap. Happy early birthday, Robin Cage. Happy early birthday. Love the channel and just wanted to support. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You allow me to do this cool stuff, and I'm glad we get to hang out. By the way, let me know what you guys think about this. I was thinking about doing like some ads next year and stuff for the channel. And one of them is literally going to be kind of like me just going, "The Den of Nerds, helping you to waste 10 minutes since 2 years ago." And like just kind of being funny and self-aware. What do you guys think about that? Winter Soldier is amazing. How many lightsabers will we see in episode 9? I hope more than 2. I very, 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 very much hope more than 2. One day ahead? Kate, does that mean your birthday is Tuesday? Who is more likely to appear in episode 9? 1, Ezra, 2, father, son, and daughter, or 3, Ahsoka? That's a great question. I'd say Ahsoka. I would give that to Ahsoka. The father, son, and daughter will likely not be in there. Ezra and Ahsoka are almost neck and neck there, but simply because they might just hide Ezra so that Zahn can decide how that goes. Because Timothy Zahn, I believe, will do the novel with Thrawn and Ezra. I think that sort of frees up Ahsoka. Bye, Christina. You're so sweet. Have a good day. That's true. Trev, good point. Yeah, and when it comes to the Patreon, and we are really, really going to be ramping up the Patreon. We want to just add so much value and have so much cool stuff going on in the Patreon in 2019. But like right now, there's early access to videos, live streams exclusively with Patreons, business vlogs, so that you see like what's going on behind the scenes. Like I said, I'm dropping a business vlog tomorrow, likely. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. There's also an executive producer tier. Al Schuler and Kate are executive producers. So we do videos, which by the way, Kate, we got to get on the phone and chat about your video. But yeah, so that's what's going on with all of that. Because it's the Pitbull voice, it's perfect. Thank you, Kate. Hayden, green beans, beans green. Great name, by the way. If Anakin comes back for episode 9, will it be Hayden or recast? It'll be Hayden, and I would love it. Jacob, there's a $1 tier, there's a $5 tier, a $10 tier, I believe, and then a $100 tier. And there are only 6 available slots, maybe 5. I gotta check. There's only a few slots for the $500 tier because I can only have so many executive producers, because we do videos for them every month. Basically, like they help produce videos, and it's a cool way for people that want to, like. Yes, we'll get it, Kate. Kate, we will get it this week for sure. Early this week. We should have did it today, but I was behind. But yeah, so because of how extensive the executive one is, I limit them because it's just of my time and things like that. Bye, Panda. Bye-bye. All right, guys, I'll do like 3 more questions, okay? And then I got to get out of here for now. But we'll have a lot of cool stuff coming out this week for sure. Thank you, Steve. Take care, buddy. Super geek mode, indeed. Yes, definitely going to be doing Game of Thrones stuff. I have to figure out a way to do that because like YouTube is so brutal right now. It's really weird. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it. Like we could technically do it, but the videos probably wouldn't get views right away. We'd have to sort of come up with a formula and get people excited about it, and then start getting views and start ranking in traffic for it, which I want to do before the show comes out. So that's a early next year. That's something I'm going to work on. We'll probably do a show after every episode, a big full length breakdown, a big old full length podcast type breakdown. So we'll figure that out. Yeah, I mean, it would just be in general hard to compete in that arena because we already have so much going for us. Like when it comes to Star Wars and Avengers, that YouTube's gonna be like, nah, we won't. We're not gonna push you out. Ooh, yes, Nina, that's very cool. Would love it if the Russo brothers done some Star Wars. Me too, man. Could we get a flashback fight scene between Snoke and Luke showing how Snoke got his scars? Maybe laugh out loud might please people that didn't like The Last Jedi? Maybe. Maybe. See you, J Red. Appreciate it, man. Am I Flick Talk? Yo, Flick Talk with the brutal questions. How about Flick Talk with the brutal um like Dan Rathers kind of or Larry King or something kind of hit me with these questions. I have been known to cry in a film every once in a while. I can't remember the last time though. But yes. Thank you. Thank you, Janko. The inevitable showdown between Ray and Kylo, of course. No, definitely, man. Look, life is a beautiful thing. The emotional spectrum is part of the flavor. Nina, do I have special Star Wars undies that I wear on my birthday? I do actually. I don't know. I didn't actually. That's not something I think about. I'm not going to consider that. Maybe I will now. Weirdly. But yeah, I've got a couple nice pairs of Star Wars undies. I'm so interested because obviously Raylo is Endgame, but what does that mean, guys? Like what how is it going to manifest itself? Are they actually going to be able to push past this setup? They're on these opposite ends. Are they going to be able to lay down their arms? You know what I mean? Are they going to be able to do it? Who knows? Of course, we want them to do it, but will they do it? That is the question. One sacrificing the other. Kate told me that she thinks that Rey is going to strike down Ben Solo and become the ruler of the galaxy and go dark side. That's what Kate wants to happen, everybody. I don't know if they'll ever be a couple either. Thanks, Janko. But cheers for now. Until next, or should I say, you have my respect, Stark. Den of nerds. I hope they remember you. I hope they remember me too for just bringing some fun to the interwebs. I'm giving away Kate's video, everybody, but that's kind of what she wants to happen. No, it has to be them loving each other. That's the whole thing. That's what the tension's about. You know what I mean? All right, guys. Well, I've got to get out of here. Thank you so much for hanging out with another one of these fan chats on your old Star Wars Sundays here at the Den of Nerds. We've got a ton of really cool stuff going down this week. Make sure you check out the Nerdy News Rundown, dropping news 5 days a week. This Avengers 4 trailer hype is at an all-time high. It's likely to drop this week. We're also going to be doing the Twitch and the streaming for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So I'll be dropping information on all of that and more throughout the coming week, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. You guys are amazing. And I'm very excited about the end of this year and 2019. 2019 is going to be lit for the Den of Nerds. It's going to be really cool. So, as I always say, guys, I hope you're having an awesome and nerdy day. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.